Friends, it's been a while. To be specific, the last episode of Oath of Endosteel was on May 11th. It's currently July 6th. This is episode 22 of the 4th season, the final season, some might call it. And as per usual policy, if you want to watch this episode in chronological order, you will need to have watched Blades of Honor Season 2, Episode 6 directly before. I am going to tell you all something that will have no bearing but may fill you with a slight sense of anxiety, or alternatively, you could think that perhaps it will fill you with a slight sense of calm. On the roll for the other side, the Blades of Honor roll to do their part of this mission, Radasaurus made the roll, and he chose to re-roll rather than stick with what he originally got.
Okay.
We're on the same team this time, right?
No, so you're on opposite teams. They're trying to keep the traitor away from you, and you are trying to identify the traitor and extract them. The final mission, the last one, you guys will be on the same team. We're not there yet.
We're finishing up the second one.
Finishing up? We haven't even started.
We haven't started.
Oh, that's right.
Haven't even started.
Okay, wait. So all we know is that they re-rolled.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm just telling you that they re-rolled.
That does nothing from you.
Yes, I said it might cause you a slight bit of anxiety, or it might bring you a slight bit of calm.
Yeah.
Didn't do either of those.
I believe Rad said "fuck EricVulgaris" while he was doing the reroll.
I hope so.
I think I also said someone should clip this.
I hope that's up in the channels. I want to go watch that.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but okay.
I mean, I can probably list off a few things, but
you all are receiving an intelligence briefing from the local forces that you have brought with you: militia, mercenaries, your house guard, etc. You find that it's like a lieutenant, junior officer, and then like a senior sergeant are briefing you together. They're walking through information I've already given you in your notes that Eddie has taken, and several other of you may have done, about the local nobility. I'm sure you guys all have that handy and ready.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. I probably have to go back over it. It was my assumption. But as they're walking through it, they're basically saying, like, we have received intelligence that has been vetted. There is a defector who wishes to join us. We believe they're operating in the Hangetsu Bay area. We are not capable of operating with impunity in Hangetsu Bay. It is one of the fulcrums, the axes of the enemy forces. So we were thinking of sending a team in. The sergeant's like, now, under no circumstances should it be the three of you, our most cherished and valuable nobles. And the lieutenant goes, hold up. Let them cook. It's these draconians that killed their father. We have to give them a shot. I believe in the three of you.
Well, I see we've set a high bar then.
So they've left you with a bunch of maps and a bunch of personnel files of people they believe could potentially be the defector. Your mission is, theoretically by the end of this episode, to have identified the defector and extracted them from Hangetsu Bay.
Okay.
I have a question, AP.
Yes.
Would a reasonable alternative just to be create a defector? Yes. I mean, like, if we happen to run into the right defector, like, then great. But if we also just, like, pull off a plan that gets somebody to defect, does it really matter if they were the original one?
That works for me.
Okay.
Sweet.
Just throwing it out there. I don't know that that's going to be successful. It's just one option.
Someone who wants to defect is probably more pliable to defecting than someone who doesn't want to defect.
Agreed entirely. I'm just saying plans have not always gone.
Understood.
We need pivot paths, pivot paths. It's very important.
Okay, so I'm looking at our potential turncoat options, which I'm only seeing two. Is that Just
Sounds
because we
right.
haven't found very many, or is that the
I don't
only
know
two
that.
options?
Have I given you those options? What do you have?
I'm
in
just looking at what Eddie wrote down.
Yeah, and it's not even updated notes. I think like some of this is from the original like info that we did, and I haven't
Yeah.
been good about.
I'm sure this is riveting, but I thought the trader we were trying to get was a or a governor, right?
Well,
that was in the last.
That was the
mission.
last.
Yeah, it was the last mission,
Right,
which
and
we
this
had a
one's-
And
partial
they
failure, if I
They
recall.
were not a traitor or
Yeah.
something along the. I can't. It's been so long. I remember
this one-
crazy shit happened, and you just
Yeah.
continuously Brinksman that motherfucker.
But
We-
we did reluctant allies against a common cause. Sorry, I think Eddie has it, and I thought there was just something about that with the infiltrating the media to like convince this person to join us was like I thought that's what we were trying to do.
No.
Right,
So
That was the first mission. We were trying to convince that guy to work with us so that we could steal
Yeah.
secrets from the
the
media
military.
station.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
that not a get a traitor?
That was
Dude,
that was
you just-
potentially.
It was just the way we went about it was to get a traitor. That was not the
okay.
point of the
my-
mission.
I would also
Yeah,
point
yeah.
out.
Give me why my wires are
failed
No,
to
no.
get a
It's an
traitor.
obvious L.
Again, agreed.
Okay.
But that it was like
Okay.
the mission was just to infiltrate, and our
Yes.
solution was to create a traitor.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Understood.
And to kind of recap real quick, from what I remember, we tried several times to get this governor to like basically go along with our plot because
Yes,
there
you failed.
various things.
Then you took him hostage.
Then
and
we
you
took him
used his
hostage.
car to break onto the base.
Break
And
under
you
the
stole
base
his
with the
car.
car. Yep, stole his car. Then we stole a chopper. Then we left, realizing that we didn't get any of the military secrets. We found out that there was a false,
Yes. There was a secret plan to feed you bad intel and get you to get Top Gun.
So we found that out. So we
Yes.
didn't get Top Gunned.
Yes.
The thing that we did find as well, if I remember correctly, is we got one of their vehicles, and we were able to at least temporarily get like codes. Like we kind of what did we Lazarus? What's the code cracking? We basically ciphered their shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we have something from that, but it's like a partial failure because we didn't actually get the military secrets that we wanted. But the potential is that we could get them later on through the trader that we're trying to get now. So a little bit of carryover, and then I'm trying to think what else was there. I think that was mainly it. So we don't have the information of like who the turncoats in this dossier that they've now given us are. In which case I looked to AP.
I will get together a list of possible candidates. I believe I put it together before, but I'll do it again.
Here's an option. We can just try to kidnap all of them. Whichever one wants to work with us.
AP, is there like a meeting of the minds that we can just infiltrate and take every single one of them at once?
All right, let's try to save each and every one with a different assassination scheme, so they're indebted to us.
Yes.
We haven't tried that plan yet.
Rinse and repeat until it succeeds. Try and try again. You know what I'm saying?
We fake an assassination on every single one of them.
No, we're Valkyrieing this shit. Like it's a planted bomb in the bunker that they're all in. And we saved them in the last.
We kill the possible traitor to indebt ourselves into the system, and then we break it down from the inside.
And then we become the traitor.
Yeah.
Oh my God! AP,
We
how do
invent
you
a time
manage?
machine. We come back here 18 years ago. We raise a family. We indoctrinate our kid to get into the DCMS. This will work just fine. I like this plan.
So AP, what's the possibility of us being able to accomplish this? Can we get the rank of the role?
Of creating a time machine?
Yeah, that's pre-tech.
Yeah, protect. Yeah, I got this.
Oh, you know what? That does actually take us
it's
full
planner.
circle, because wasn't that what Xenia was trying to do in the first
Yeah,
place?
it does. It kind of goes full circle. So Athena is totally embedded in this already.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyways,
Christ.
seriously.
Sorry.
All right. So AP
Sorry.
just gave us a lot of information.
Yeah. And during this whole time, AP was posting in Discord and giving us information. But I'm sure he heard everything that we said and thinks it's all very plausible and reasonable for us to time travel and
Cool.
not
We
have the
should
butterfly effect of anything that bad happening.
The obvious person we should try to like lean on would be the non-samurai. And I mean, when it comes to like CIA and leaning on shit, like you have to go through the background checks to see whether there's gambling debts, right? So we can pay off things like that. If there's a mistress or whatever, we can threaten to expose them. Like what is our leverage profile on these people?
I think that's a great starting point. Is just like doing some investigation work on the leverage that we can have on these individuals.
Yeah, but
because you have that Yakuza background and like you've at least got like an in to getting some dirty numbers and dirty information. Yeah. I think that's a viable platform.
Yeah, I'm still covered in tattoos.
So there's one more person I needed to add to that list. And if you are looking for targets to potentially kidnap or turn, I do want to remind you that not only are you tattooed up as a smoke jaguar, whatever your gang name is, but you did want to fuck Akari Genji's mom, who is a resident of Hangetsu Bay, and is she's a noble lady of some stature and power.
Is this a biblical fucking, or is this
I don't know, man.
Eric when did this come up?
How did that? Did I?
Okay,
I
you know what?
I have no memory.
The audience. I'm done. I said what I said. You said what you said. If you don't remember it, that's not my problem. I'm not here to
put it forward
clarify
that
it
one
for
of
you.
us should seduce her.
Okay.
As a way in.
Yeah.
That's something I would say. I wouldn't like just show up and be like,
Well, were you talking about also like politically fucking them? So messing with their established like power structure?
So speaking of politics, there aren't really political parties in the Draconis Combine in the same way that there are not elections in the Draconis Combine. However, there is a military/political organization of reformers that is rising on this planet and throughout the Draconis Combine. They just call their enemies just call them the reformers. And that movement is one of secure border with the Federated Suns and moving military assets to be more prepared for other threats.
So I think we should try to make like some of those, like what Eddie was saying, some like intelligence gathering roles so that we can start to put together a plan here.
Yeah.
It sounds like Eric can go like the criminal route. I'm just going to look at my skills and see if I have anything that's useful for this.
You might be able to go like a social engineering route.
And
then I can see Athena going like the tech route in some fashion or another. Let's see.
Oh, there is the Jade Token Tea House. Getting in with obviously Geisha know everything, so if you could lean on the Geisha to get information, that would be an easy way to do it.
That would be a good social engineering avenue for Celeste, maybe.
But I don't think I'm the person to do that.
I have business.
I have leadership.
Business.
I have science. I have post-tech, pre-tech, space, vehicles.
None of those sound super useful.
I have persuade.
What if? Okay, wait. How about this? What if I use the business skill to get us in, and then you hack them with your? Oh wait, no, you don't have computers. You have
I don't have.
We had this problem last time.
I know, and I was like, oh damn, because I makes sense that Athena would have computers to some extent, but
should have spent some skill points on it.
I know. Oh wait, I leveled up. I don't think I actually ever spent those skill points. How many do I get at level 5? That's my bad. I should have
I
done
don't know. It's the however many actions.
It's a few. Oops. Let me see if I can find that real fast. Sorry, AP. That's my bad. I've been so busy the last couple of weeks. This month has been crazy. Okay, stars without numbers. Do, 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 do. But yeah, I think a first step is definitely getting information. So I think starting there while I figure out my skills.
You get 3 skill points if you're an expert, and 2 if you're a warrior.
Nice. Okay.
I'm trying to think of how I could use tactics, because for some reason I have a 2 in tactics.
Oh, nice.
But I definitely cannot think of any way that would be relevant. But okay, so I guess like, how could I use the problem with the business role is that we're not very legitimate on planet. So it's not like I can just like go like try to like become their business partner.
And do my stats ever increase in stars without numbers? I never actually figured that out.
Oh no.
No, it's whatever you roll and you start with that. Fun. Okay. So computers would most likely be an intelligence based. There might be an angle that I can do with charisma, but doubtful. Unless I social engineer. Similarly, but with technology. Yeah. Okay. So I still got 1, and per rank, it's like I can put 1 point per rank. Is that correct? Or is there like a scaling effect where I spend more per rank?
You spend more per rank.
Okay, so I'd probably spend for 2 ranks. I'd spend 3
you're gonna
On
have
page
to look
64.
it up.
Okay, thanks. I'll look that up real fast. If someone else wants to make a roll while I'm doing this, that'd be great.
Well, Eric, do you want to try to do the underworld one first? Because I'm stumped on what Athena or what Celeste can even do here.
My best options is to go in and again start punching people with my culture criminal strength. I don't know if we want to do that though.
Wait, start punching people in the underworld?
Yeah, like one of those things. Not like John Wick an entire place, but the idea is
You're roughing people up to get information.
I find like the local like tough, the street toughs or whatever. I beat their leader, and then I'm like, cool, like we go from there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, look, that's as good as anything we've come up with so far.
I mean, I'm for it if it fits narratively for you.
Well, I just don't know what kind of dirt I'm going to get doing this that the geisha people already have.
Well, I mean, the main thing that you're trying to get, right, is I think the geisha wouldn't have like hard numbers or evidence, but this route potentially could get you hard evidence, right? You would get anecdotal information that might boost your like who to target and who you're going after. So it might make sense to do the geishas first, because then that'll help you like target more precisely like who you're going after to get information that like or evidence from. It's like
I'm not
like which bookies have like the dirt on the illegal gambling that like the lords are doing or something like shit like that, right?
Right, and I'm saying that I'm not the person to go talk to the geishas to do that.
Right. So I think it's maybe it's Celeste first, then you, and then me to like dig even deeper with like more targeted information.
Alrighty, so I guess Celeste is going to the whorehouse.
Honestly, I'm thinking about. I have an idea. I know, but hold on. I know you can do the geisha. Well, geishas aren't whores, but here, I have an idea. Well, they could be. But here's an idea. Dockside. Listen, I ran a starport for
that's true.
For a while. I know my way in and out of there. Perhaps I could be like looking to make a partnership kind of thing.
That could be a business path. Yeah, that could be interesting.
That works.
What skills do you have that you
under the table?
Oh, okay.
Like no, like we're making it.
The underworld of the docks.
And go in that way through smuggling. I mean, this is actually like a naval port and not a space port, but I imagine they work relatively the same.
There's
with the exception of like
in the district.
What's that?
There's an airport in dockside.
Oh yeah, the Fred Carita
The
Memorial Airport.
Leonard Carita.
Also, like
Right,
I feel
James
like
Carita.
if there's somebody who's like smuggling shit in, that could be a clue of like who is
Yeah.
already defecting, right? Because like
Yep.
presumably they're like moving shit.
Yeah,
All right,
that
I
is
like
like
that
this.
plan. I think we should
All
go
right.
with that.
All right, wrong port of entry. I will do I think the airport is the way to go.
You're going to dockside rather than portside.
Yeah. So, tourism along
The Leonard Carita Memorial
Aviation?
Airport is in this
Okay.
district. Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of, yeah. So
So that's
basically,
under the command of Lord Cho of Clan Sung.
oh, got you. Yeah.
Lord Cho. I see that. Okay.
And so you're going dockside. It sounds almost like Celeste might go port side. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. This is interesting. Everyone went quiet. Did I lose internet?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just no one said they want to make any rolls yet. Everyone's waiting. So I also am waiting.
I
I've been
see.
waiting.
Yeah, so who wants to go first? I do like.
It feels like Eric has a stronger idea because I'm not really sure what I would be rolling.
Fair.
I don't know how I'm going to punch my way into this, but I do have this. Like, I have the knowledge about this. I just don't know what my avenue of approach is yet.
Well, maybe this is a team up, and you're helping me, and I can do the face stuff for you.
So I have a couple ideas. Like, obviously the one is like, when I'm thinking about this in terms of stories, is like you show up solving a problem they didn't know they had, aka the stop the assassination attempt.
Sure.
You know, or whatever, right? Or reveal a spy in their own midst, right? That they didn't know about.
I mean,
Like, that would be another one.
That almost seems like cultural criminal.
The second one would be literally steal from them in a way that like shows your skill.
Okay, actually, I've got an
Fourth
idea.
one, challenge to physical combat. It's like, those are like, okay, like that's all I got.
I've got an idea, but it would be more like a team up
I can't
between Angus and somebody else. But the idea I would have is like if we could get access to like the doc reporting stuff, we could get an idea of like who's smuggling shit, who's like on the up and up, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably figure out that information. I could make that roll to figure out who's shipping stuff, who like what would be. This would be like a setup roll to get me to figure out how to exploit.
Maybe the setup is me like getting the business records, and the execution is you like being able to look at them with the cultural criminal knowledge to like know what's going on.
You get the records, I analyze them. Yeah.
Okay, that seems like a good strategy. So Celeste is basically going to try to, how would she go about this? I think she's gonna try to take the place of like a port auditor and get access to the business records.
Okay.
Auditor.
Now, my question to start with is, are you looking for the numbers they report to the government, or are you looking for the numbers they report to the Yakuza? These are not the same.
Whichever ones Angus tells me to get.
I mean, porque no
Whichever one you
dos, is it possible to get both? Or is it like more
Sure, yeah, let's try to get both.
I'm gonna raise the difficulty by one.
Well, yeah, but I think the corporate ones where they're showing stuff like that's illegal, I would also like there would be tells of what's being hidden.
Sure.
I think we want both if we can, because we want as full of a picture as possible.
I like the idea. I mean, AP, I'll pitch this to you, like of maybe one DC being like we prioritize the illegal or the illegal.
No, I'm going to increase the difficulty if you're going for both.
If we're trying for both,
Yeah, I'm not going to grade
fine. I'll just go for both. Why not? Go big or go home.
Okay, I would like a bureaucracy roll to insert yourself into the bureaucracy.
Okay. With
charisma is the base.
Going up with a clipboard and a rented uniform It's not
You
going to be
need
enough
culture
for-
bureaucrat.
Bureaucracy is a skill.
Bureaucracy
It
is
is.
a skill.
Um,
That's why I
Which I do
asked
have
for
some
it.
in.
is it and with charisma, right?
I think charisma, yeah.
Okay. It couldn't be persuade because I'm lying to these people.
No.
So
Okay, that's fine.
that's what you're going to use after you fail this roll.
I still have a +1 because I have monstrous charisma. So
Oh, you don't have skill in bureaucracy?
no,
Oh.
Oh, I could impress them with my Swedenese.
Ooh.
that's a 6 total.
Okay, 6 total.
Yes.
All right. So did you go port side or dock side? You went to the actual shipping port, like the naval shipping
Yes.
port? Okay.
Sure.
So you're
No.
Oh,
Couldn't you- hold on.
wherever Angus wanted me to go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
You
care.
you have to go to the place that I'm going. Like
Okay,
you have to
then
check the
that
airport
place.
log.
Then that place.
It makes no sense to check
then
the
this is what
naval
happens.
stuff.
You show up in a port authority uniform to the airport,
Oh my
and you
god.
try to get on. Like you walk through the civilian area, no problem. You try to go into like the back corridors. The guard stops you and says, "Hold on a second. Let me run your identification real quick." Well, they got you guys running here from the docks. Just like waving a scanner beam over your ID. You hear like a beep beep.
Do I look like the person who makes those decisions? They tell me where to go. I go. I audit the books. I don't.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, listen, pal. So, look, I have a flag here from my supervisor for your ID. We just need to do a quick interview to confirm who you are. Get our records updated. Blood type, that
I
sort of
get it.
stuff.
Look, whatever you got to do. I mean, it's gonna really throw off the
He
whole
gestures
rhythm of my
behind
day.
you,
But
and you could see 2 more guards. So he is just wearing, like corporate logo, sleeved shirt, ball cap, and has like a pair of handcuffs and like some bear mace. The 2 guys who are stepping in behind you right now have like stun sticks and hands-on holsters for pistols. And he says, I'm gonna need you to step in front of me, sir. We're gonna just head to the interrogation chamber just down this way. Just get your paperwork filled out.
I mean, sure.
So he leads you into the room, and you can see that outside, those 2 men basically stand guard outside the door. And you are heaped with about 40 pages of paperwork to fill out in triplicate, confirming your identity. Date of birth, blood type, place where you were born on planet, the date you completed your college degree, that sort of thing. It's a fucking nightmare because this is a fake identity that Davian Intelligence put together for you, and you're not sure you'll remember all these details.
Well, I'll do my best.
Here's a question: does the DCMS use unions?
Yes.
Because my thought is like they're like a port union would make sense for people.
The entire Draconis Combine is a union. It's a cooperative. That's the scene. Draconis Combine. They are a cooperative workers combine.
Yeah, exactly. And North Korea is the Democratic People's Republic. Like it's in the name. That doesn't mean anything. But I am wondering if they allow unions, then like
So the thing is that when you're talking unions,
cross ports would make sense.
When you're talking unions in Battletech, you basically, in the Draconis
labor.
Combine, you mean Yakuza. So
no, I mean like a labor union.
No,
Oh, okay.
Yes, people who
Fair
work
enough.
for normal corporations are not allowed to join unions because the Zaibatsus need to dominate their... It's like Cyberpunk, People have no rights beyond what the corporation. They'll never leave the planet. They get paid minimum wage. They work 16-hour days. This is all in canon, to be clear.
Yeah.
But if you work for the Yakuza, you live in a different societal structure where it's a bit looser. And you provide specific services, like a union. Anyway,
so I guess I'll
Sam,
pretend to be one of those guys.
Yeah. So, sorry, you're going to pretend to be a Yakuza?
I mean, whichever is going to be easier for me.
Okay.
This
I
is
will
just
now-
not going to be easier to
Yeah.
be Yakuza than fucking
oh yeah, then
I'm gonna need a
with the
culture
police,
criminal
dude.
roll then.
Then I won't do that because
Okay.
I don't know shit about culture criminal.
So the thing is that you spend several hours filling out this paperwork to the best of your ability, and when you leave, one of the guards takes your paperwork, and the other one goes, "Sorry about that, ma'am. It's just you haven't filled out your paperwork in the last 3 years, so port authority's really been getting on us to get that solved. What part of the facility are you getting to? I'll get you escorted over there.
Records department.
Of course. So let me scan your ID again real quick. Make sure you're authorized to be in there.
She is going to try to lie, I guess, and will be like, it's like, really? After filling out hours of paperwork, you're gonna keep jamming me up here? All I'm trying to do is do my job.
Okay. Yeah, make a persuasion roll.
Okay, this I'm pretty
now
good
this
at.
is the one where, like, if you fail this, it's going to be quite bad because you pushed your luck
yeah,
to the
exactly.
extreme here.
But if they scan my ID, it's also going to be quite bad.
It's still going to come back poorly. Yeah.
All right, so this time I have a +2.
And this is where the fake assassination attempt comes in.
That's a 10. I think that's probably going to be enough.
The guard kind of looks around, makes sure that nobody else in the office space in the walls of the airport is listening. Goes, all right, I get it. We all have quotas to meet. I'm just doing my job as well, but yeah. He walks over to a little like UTV golf cart and gestures for you to get into it as he drives you, like 5 miles an hour through the airport, around people, like waves you through security and gets you to the record keeping. And he says, your card will get you into any of the doors here that you need to.
I appreciate it. Look, I'm sorry for snapping at you earlier. I get it. You're just doing your job.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, then she'll head in.
Start driving away.
Will my card actually get me in?
Under no circumstances will it get you in.
Oh,
No.
good.
You would need a hacker to get you in.
So I'm just in front of a locked door here. Is what you're saying?
I mean, now's the time for Eddie to say that he did some hacking and got you authorization on your card.
Hopefully.
Okay.
And then when he rolls poorly, you swipe the card, and the group of
doesn't
ninjas
work.
descends from the ceiling.
Oh my god.
So this
Can
is like
Eddie-
a annex building on airport grounds, but in like the secure military sector of the airport.
Cool.
It's just like massive computerized record keeping, just like big server racks full of hard drives of tax information, everything from the last 7 years that's passed through the airport, the port. Yeah. Just a big giant Amazon warehouse. All right, Eddie. Now here's the deal. The Draconis Combat is actually really good at hacking and not getting hacked. So the difficulty on this hacking roll is a 9.
But also remember this, Eddie. It's 352, so you should definitely use your reroll.
You should succeed and then use your reroll anyway, just to prove that you can.
Yeah, totally. Okay, 2 things. One, I upped my skill in computers since we've been using that a lot.
Okay.
2, would we be able to have some kind of edge because we were able to decipher the codes?
If you want to use the codes, it's one and done. I'll give you a +2 on this roll.
Wow.
You'll infiltrate the network and get the card inserted as best possible, etc., etc.
Yeah, I'm just debating on whether or not, because now I have, is this int based or is this?
I think
or is this-
intelligence is a fine roll for this.
I only have a 12. I have 14 charisma.
I don't think you can charisma program.
Yeah.
Unless you're vibe coding, in which case take a -12 on this roll.
Oh my god. No, I've got a +1 in computers bonus because I've ranked it up to 2.
Okay.
So I think I'm just rolling with a +1 at the
All right.
moment.
You need to hit a 9. Trying to hack
doesn't
the
seem-
unhackable.
Why is it not rolling?
Just physically toss them. Yeah. That's a 9 exactly.
There we go.
Easy.
You hack into the gate.
I
It
mean,
asks you for the password. You type out Ikotoba. You're in the airport.
Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start.
It's Unix. I know this system. You're in a virtual UX situation.
oh
You
my
could
God.
see like 24 style. The clock is like as Celeste is approaching, you are hacking into the computer database and updating the password system to allow, you know, the card to swipe through. And then like right before the card swipe goes down, you know, like he does one swipe and it does like a orange light, like try again. He swipes again. Celeste goes through on a green light and is into the warehouse.
Right. Well, that worked. I think Athena's just like now trying to figure out what next.
Then I download all the records onto my handy USB drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
that's, I mean, they needed a warehouse to store all this data. So I'm going to ask for something to sort through this for the proper information.
Is this for
Post-tech,
business?
pre-tech?
I think
folks?
business or
I have
computer.
business.
Well, don't stand on it.
Can I
Got him.
can I aid?
Yeah, I'll allow a +1.
Okay. And I'm using what stat?
I think intelligence to sort through an enormous amount of data. This is the
Alrighty.
Battletech universe, so it's probably several gigabytes of text data.
So I'll have a
Gigabytes.
total of a +1.
A massive
Wow.
warehouse is 1 gigabyte of data.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think all of the data that ever existed in the 80s was a total of 1 gigabyte. So,
True.
alrighty. I'm a total of +1 here. That's a 9 total. Not too bad.
A total +1 with my help or without?
With your help.
+1 with.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you get in, you begin looking for data, and you want this data to say what exactly?
We're looking for, like, basically evidence that people, like, evidence and who of people that are basically, like, engaged in doing the type of smuggling that might be indicative that they are harboring treacherous intent towards the Draconis Combine, right? It's like people who are willing to do certain types of illegal activity that indicates that they might be doing, like, actually be working with the Federated Sons, not
Okay.
just personally enriching themselves. You see what I'm saying?
So you have a list of people that you believe are citizens local to Hangetsu Bay who are probably Yakuza officers. One of their number, their headquarters boss, is in fact Akiyama Genji. A huge amount of requisition orders for things like SUVs with black window tint, motorcycles, authorizations to carry like shotguns and swords, you know, like buying historical weapons from 100+ years ago, and massive amounts of fuel and ammunition are all in her name, which is a little weird because on paper she's a noble lady who doesn't need this stuff, and it's all being shipped to known Yakuza hotspots. The paperwork is a little obfuscated on this point, and you think maybe the government is politely looking the other way on this one, but yeah, you absolutely have evidence showing that Akiyama Genji, mother of Akari Genji, aka Ratosaurus, is definitely a high-ranking member of the Yakuza. As you're going through this, you also begin putting together that the local, like, right hand of the lord, of the local baron, Sung Cho, a lot of paperwork about things falling off the back of the truck here. This isn't Yakuza related. This is definitely somebody knocking credits out, military equipment goes missing, things get double ordered, that sort of deal. This airport specifically has a lot of records about, over the last couple of weeks, all of the rush of ammunition, personnel, in order to fight the war that you guys have brought to this planet. You know, Hagetsu Bay is one of the front lines, and so a lot of stuff is coming in through the Leonard Carita Memorial Airport. And according to these records, a healthy percentage of it is being marked as like missing or rejected for quality reasons, or just did never arrive, but in fact is being siphoned away by Lord Cho. You also get a sort of his unusual taste in like Davionic literature. Apparently he's confiscated several crates of like Don Quixote-esque chivalric romance novels and things like that, and holovid programs that are from the Federated Sons, like the Pride and Prejudice one that we had in the first few seasons, Pride and Royals. Those shows are not legal on this side of the border, but he appears to have had them smuggled in the last week.
Interesting.
That could just be a know thy enemy strat, though. It's not necessarily telling.
Well, but all the missing stuff is more telling, I would say.
True.
But yeah, so I guess we'll get out and we'll give this information to Eric. And I think maybe we divide and conquer, and Eric works the Yakuza lead, and maybe Celeste works this other guy's lead.
Works for me.
Alrighty.
And then I think Athena would just be kind of playing their role as support and technologists in some capacity.
Okay. Who do we want to follow first?
We haven't had much Angus yet.
All right, what's the
All
beef, Angus? You want to just
God,
go beat somebody
that-
up and try to work
Jesus.
your way up the criminal ladder?
No,
Hold on. Before we continue, we need to stop for what's the beef, Angus, Arthur. That is, God damn you. Anyway, moving on.
well, I thought I could use Celeste's intel.
Sure.
Right. My hope is to. Maybe I don't have to use my fists. My hope is I can convince them of my value and how I can be useful by finding a fuck up in their own operation and either beating the crap out of them, who's like either, someone who's skimming, or someone who themselves, right? Or just like incompetent, or an informant, or like at least a weakness, because I should have knowledge of the way these operations work, and I should be able to identify the weak links.
I'm going to ask for a culture criminal roll.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If you roll a 6 or lower, you'll be in the wrong direction and in peril.
That makes a lot of sense. But fortunately for you, I rolled a 10 total.
Whoa.
I think we cut directly to a scene where it is like a nightclub, less John Wick and more Kill Bill, or the Oren Ishii chapter of Kill Bill.
Right.
It's like a very fancy, like tasteful techno discotheque beat, and the front door of the facility opens up, and it's you, bounty hunter style, dragging this fuck up informant police rat behind you, and like all the regular civilians in here are just like turn, look, see it, and then pretend they didn't see anything. And the concierge comes over to you and says, "Sir," he's wearing a full tuxedo, by the way, but you can see just like in between the area of his gloves and his cuffs, there's like a beautiful tattoo down both of his arms. "Sir, I see that you and your guests have both arrived. What name should I be looking for on our list so that we can accommodate you?
What was the fake name that we made up for your character?
You can make up a new fake name here.
That's
and
true.
I'll say it's the same fake name.
Oh, you put me on the spot for a good fake
Stacy
gangster name.
fake name.
Stacy fake name.
Jack Kuza.
Ken, yeah.
Yakuza.
Kenny.
G.
Rogers.
Honestly, Kenny Rogers. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's do Kenny Rogers.
Oh,
Mr.
my God.
Rogers.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
I understand you're looking forward to a private meeting with the owner of this establishment. Can I offer you a seating in our champagne room while we have them summoned for you?
Is there an etiquette role for this, or
I think what you I
it's the right
mean,
move to
based on the 10, I don't think you need an etiquette role. What are you
Right.
looking for from me?
Oh no, of course. Yes, I think I would point out a table that would be nice, like the center table to the right by the window would be beautiful.
We would prefer you and your guests remain out of sight of the general public. Your privacy and your comfort should be assured.
Oh, thank you. Then I'll take the second booth to the left.
I can't offer you the champagne room, sir.
It's always so busy this time of day. For my
All right. He sees that you don't want to go somewhere dark and alone, and he helps you set the rat up across from you in your private booth area. The guy's like slumped down, like blood is trickling out of his mouth. He's missing a few teeth. Your hands have like cuts on them from where you beat the shit out of him.
right.
We get the like James Bond music change as a beautiful woman in her like mid 40s arrives, red dressed, slinky club attire, holding like a long thin cigarillo holder, smoke trailing behind her, smoking indoors. It's the 80s, so you could still do that.
In a house made of paper is a power move.
It's a club,
Yeah.
not made of paper. Don't assume that they have advanced
Walls.
building materials in the Draconis Combine.
No, this is like you said. This was made in like the Ornishi like classic paper wall stuff.
Oh,
No?
I didn't say
Am I
that. I
misremembering?
said it was like that. But that building, they threw people.
Oh, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? We'll go that way.
No,
actually.
you're
No, I'm there with you now. All right. She heads down and says, I understand you don't wish to have this conversation in private. You've located this individual, and you have taken one of the men of my organization and beat the shit out of him. Can you explain to me why you've done this and then dragged him publicly into my establishment?
Your information that you've received is exactly why I'm here, and I'm going to gently and politely kick the guy that I beat the crap out of here.
Yeah.
And no, like in the foot, to like kind of wake him up. And I have rehearsed him to admit and swear to me that he ran into my fist 5 times.
Okay.
That I did not punch anybody.
Okay. He says, boss. No, I ran into him repeatedly. This was all self-inflicted, ma'am.
I admire your we wouldn't use the word out of character. We wouldn't use employees here. We wouldn't use servants. What would be the word used at your
Family?
Yeah. Admire your so like okay then in character like I admire the dedication that is in your family. But now how do we catch this guy again like out of character? Like is this guy was just skimming, right?
You tell me.
Do we have
you
a
made
game how
successful
what he was doing?
roll, and you can
Oh,
paint
okay.
whatever picture. You can have set this guy up. He could actually be dirty, however you want to.
No, he was
approach
actually
this.
dirty. Yeah, no,
Okay,
like he was truly
actually
dirty. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
On Solaris 7, there was a way of funneling the proceeds, and I'll describe sort of like a laundering system, but then a way to hide it. Yeah, and kind of do that kind of thing, and explain to him, like, basically I've seen, it's like the Swedish double roll is like probably what it's called or whatever, and he was doing it. It's like, now I wouldn't fault. Would it be rude to say, like, I wouldn't fault like how like rural Valentina is, that you wouldn't be up to date with these like higher tech kind of schemes, or no? That would be kind of rude, right?
Spend a lot of
Basically,
time in Liren
technology.
space. Who are you with? The Hamaguchis? Boss Ito?
Sorry, gang. Do we have an answer for me? Do we have a don't we have like a crew, or should I just say Smoke Jaguars?
Okay, if you say Smoke Jaguars, she goes, Smoke Jaguars are local. They don't spend a lot of time operating on Solaris 7. You must be a very traveled guest member. I have heard that they've recently received new leadership down south. Should I expect that you are the ruffian who has forced his way to the top? Young man,
I've been. Yeah,
you
I don't
have
know
come
how to
in
say
here
it.
with one of my men bloodied and apparently tortured, and you have yet to explain why. My patience is running incredibly thin. And you've decided to make a public spectacle of this conversation.
Failing at the words here. Well, forgive me, I don't mean any offense. But like I said, your family member here hit me. Any spectacle would be on their end. They did the Swedish double roll. I want, so while
And
she's talking to me about this stuff,
you have brought
sorry.
this man to me after you've discovered his crime. For what reason? Out of the good and kindness of your heart? Because you wish the Smoke Jaguars to open hands with us? With the Shinsen Gumi?
Heard worse ideas. We're hungry. Your operation is strong, but it lacks awareness of some of the latest schemes. Something that we can help you with.
Oh boy, I'm gonna need a roll to secure that particular one.
Oh boy.
Why? I literally just demonstrated my ability to do what I just said with
and
a
you did
person
get a
who's
10
beat
coming
up.
in here. All right. Yeah.
Like, I literally am describing that. Like,
No, you've got it.
I can
Eric.
help
You've
you.
got it. You've convinced
Yeah.
me. You've counter argued my. You need a roll.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, for sure I would. But yeah. Consider this my bona fides.
Finn, take this thing, and she gestures to the beaten man. Out back. Dispose of him in the garbage.
I assume I have like proof of their stuff
Sure.
as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably hand over a slightly blood smudged manila folder.
The concierge opens it up. He Daemon Targaryen from season 1 of House of the Dragons, reading the scroll on the bridge, goes, checks out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You'd also note that I did not choose to give myself a commission for my service.
She slides into the booth across from you. The concierge quickly wipes away the blood and spit from the table before dragging the man out. You have my attention. I would not be opposed to the Smoke Jaguars pledging themselves to the Shinsen Gumi. This is a lucrative time of great profit.
That's what we were about.
Yes, I've heard you say that you're hungry, but what you're hungry for is what interests me.
I'm sure we have the same hungers.
You look like you want to say something,
Yeah.
Eric.
No,
Okay.
I'm trying not to smile because
Okay.
I'm like, damn, that's really good. I can't believe I came up with that.
Yeah, I think make a persuasion charisma check here.
Okay. I'm trying to not let her know anything about me and
Yes.
just letting her like
I'm
be
aware
like,
it's
damn,
very
they're interesting.
frustrating.
6.
She gives you a knowing smile as if you've let out more information from your words, or maybe your tone of voice, or maybe your expression.
That's
Maybe
true.
she sees you trying not to smile
Yeah.
after saying
can-
those words. You're so
Mhm.
impressed with yourself.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Do I know anything about her?
We know that
Can we make our person?
She's she's a popular person. Like, what
Yeah,
did
can
my
we, like, make
what-
our role in the past for our digging up information?
Sure.
yeah? Why would I take a meeting without having information, like a small dossier on this person?
I think
Yeah.
that your information is
Some.
that this is Akiyama Genji,
yeah,
which
Yeah.
is
the
surprising
mother
to
of
you
Akari Genji. Yeah,
because you thought you were coming here to speak to the head of the Ruby Emblem.
Mm.
Instead, you're meeting with one of the top officers of the local Yakuza gang. You know, like you were supposed to climb a ladder, and you've reached the top
Oh.
of the ladder much faster than you were supposed to.
Mm.
Something is unusual.
Yeah, almost like there's a
So-
potential shakeup, or that the
Can
ladder
I?
has become shorter.
Yeah. Can I test security? So my thought here, my instincts is that I'm being set up. Like she wants to use me for something, and I want to try to get
Sure.
out of it, or
Yeah.
at least be aware of what the shape of the snare that's
Security
set before me
wisdom,
is.
I think.
Yeah. 7. No, nothing.
I mean, you're just as nervous about this being a double setup as you were before that roll. You have no evidence one way or the other.
I think you have a plus
I
one
was saying-
in security, so that would actually be an 8.
That's true. Oh, wait, I do have a +1 security. That is an 8. Thank you.
You are getting a feeling from her that she hasn't seen through your cover, doesn't particularly care who you are. Your clear Yakuza background and your usefulness in the immediate future makes you a quick disposable asset.
Yeah. That makes sense.
She's about to try to sweet talk you into doing something that will probably end in your death and her gain.
So I will probably cut it off here, and I'll be like, well, now before you think about the shape of our future relationship, and ask me for something, I do have a pressing engagement, so perhaps we'll meet again. And I'll kind of tap on the table, and I'd rather get out of it now to
As
avoid.
you stand up and leave, she goes, "Not many
commission.
people are willing to turn their back on me before I've dismissed them. You're a very interesting person, Smoke Jaguar Coon."
It was pleasure. It was lovely to meet you, and I give her the full etiquette or whatever it's necessary, and yeah,
Yeah, you
And head out.
depart.
yeah. I'm gonna leave. I want to leave them wanting more. I want them to. Yeah.
All right. what's the next step then?
Well, eventually, for me, I think it would be when they finally, are too tantalized that they'll call me, or like we may arrange to meet, or they find me, but something that's been arranged. But I feel like I really need to meet back up with my group to figure out what our next plans are, because we did not anticipate me to get access this quickly. You know what I mean?
Well, and from like the back office,
But
like I think
also I'm being followed, so I need to I need to do something to avoid this.
Oh, it's true.
Of course, I'm being tailed after leaving there.
Of course.
So how do I lose? Do I have to roll to lose the tail?
You're not being tailed.
Shit. That just means they have good tails. So I'm going to do the. So it's going to take me longer to get home, but I will be avoiding their tails.
Okay. I think make a security roll.
Oh yeah.
With wisdom.
Oh,
13.
Okay. You are being tailed. It's not the Yakuza. You are being tailed by a discreet undercover police operation being done by the local candy stripers. So this is the Friendly Persuaders, which is the name for the police, otherwise known as the Civilian Guidance Corps.
That's amazing.
So, just to be very clear, these are local beat cops. And when I say beat cop, you're thinking of a guy wearing a blue uniform, a cap, not wearing body armor, has a pistol and a flashlight. This is an Urkanos Combine.
Police.
Your average beat cop is carrying a riot shotgun and a sonic stunner gun in order to mass capacitate dozens of people at once, and is wearing full anti-explosive body armor, like EOD suits.
What?
So I think I would. That's a very easy tail to spot.
Well, they're in a car with like
the walking,
tinted, whatever. But yes.
Okay.
You eventually
not
spot them
the
and
fucking
clock
elemental looking mother guy in the full suit.
I'm gonna send you a picture of what a civilian guidance corps street officer looks like.
I think you did a great picture of it. I got it. I can imagine the bleefy, basically space marine looking ass guy with the bulky neck thing and the visors suspended away.
Wow, that's so 1980s.
Oh, that's even better. That's okay.
From like a plan perspective, I mean, it seems like we've got high level access potentially to the Yakuza with a potential in to like more high end functions as a result, because they're not just the head of the Yakuza, they're also like a powerful member of a noble family, right?
They recently got divorced from their husband, but yes, they are a powerful noble, and their daughter is the head of the family now.
We should also probably do something about to figure out why Angus is being tailed by the cops.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think there's like the tail, there's the right-hand man, which is like a potential defector.
Okay, I have an idea for the right-hand man if no one else has any other ideas.
I mean,
I want to concentrate on the tail. You're aware that you are being tailed. I don't know if you want to do anything about it.
Got you.
Yeah, I want to evade their tail.
Okay,
I want to escape.
You evade it, no problem. Sure. On a 13, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to mislead them by any chance? Like send them down a wrong path?
No, I'd rather just lose them.
Okay.
I don't want them to know that. I wanted to make it look like they made a mistake rather than you know what I mean? Rather than
you didn't
too
realize
good.
They just lost you.
Yeah.
Like I want them to not realize that I know that they're on to me, or I'm onto them.
Okay,
sure.
That makes sense. Okay, so for the tail, we seem to have lost that. I mean, I guess Athena could help by finding out what they know and how they were tailing you.
Yeah.
That's one potential avenue that Athena could take. But I do want to focus in and hone in on the finding a defector or defector, because we forgot that last time. So I'm trying to focus.
Alrighty, so here's my plan is my thinking is Celeste could try to like basically convince this guy that she is trying to recruit him for some kind of uh like basically like that she's like trying to like turn him into a CIA asset. And then based on like if he tries to like turn her in or not, then we'll have an idea of whether he is already a defector.
Okay, so basically, like have safeguards if he tries to turn you in.
Exactly. So that's what
So,
I was
like,
thinking is maybe you could do
basically
like
trap.
some kind of like post-tech role to like so that I could have something to kind of like block him from being able to like report me if things go wrong.
Sure.
Uh
Okay.
but yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Should we do that, AP? Does that sound reasonable?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm rolling post tech. Um,
To do
To
what?
maybe some kind of I want to like gadget so that I can like stop him from trying to call me in if this goes south.
Okay. You mean
basically,
like some
like
sort of cell phone jammer,
Yeah, exactly.
radio jammer?
And then I can like kill him
Ooh.
or like something to avoid
Kill him?
my cover getting
Oh
blown.
my
I
god.
don't
No
think
big
you
deal.
need to make anything for this. I mean, you guys are rich nobles who probably bought one off the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? We don't need to risk a roll. Like, what would failure look like? It doesn't work and then you get fucked. You know
Yeah,
what I
all
mean?
right,
Yeah.
fair enough. So yeah, then I'll go try to get this guy.
I think what makes more sense in terms of like an aid here, outside of that the tech stuff, is like Athena essentially setting up like a trap to see if like they're true in their intentions, versus
Oh, so go the other way and pretend to be like Draconis Combine spooks and be like, we know you're working for them.
Hmm.
Is that what you're saying? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
no, I mean, it's potentially both either way. But I was thinking more of like, if they do try to turn us into the Draconis Combine, then we'd be able to like capture that and essentially like hold that against them, or well, I guess you wouldn't necessarily hold that against them, but it would prevent them from basically revealing us. And then we can carry on and move to another potential turncoat.
I do not understand what you're saying, but okay.
Just do your thing. Do your thing. I was just trying to think of like a way that I could help.
Eric, where are you while this is happening? Where is Angus?
I've been trying to meet with them, so I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's have
let's
that
meet
meeting
before-
We can have
before
the
you go
meeting
to meet with
first, yeah.
Sancho.
But
Yeah.
it makes more sense for I don't know, but I figure it makes more sense for them to do their thing first, and then
just do like simultaneous things. Like, so you did this while we were doing that.
24. Quad screen. All right. So Eddie, what is Athena doing? Wow.
Yeah.
Her half sister is putting her ass out on the line here.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to what I've been doing to some extent. Is just kind of back office, try to support. So I think in this case, like, essentially try to set up taps on our, well, not taps maybe, because I think they're going to be suspicious for that stuff because they're double crossing the Draconis Combine. So not taps, but like kind of set up like fail safes. So like if something bad happens, like helping out my sister by having the jammer like redirect them to a trap line, if they're trying to report something, or a trap like signal or something like that. So like we get notified if they're trying to send some sort of like info to the Draconis Combine.
I will take a computers, post-tech, or science roll at a -1 with intelligence.
So all of that with -1, or
No,
just
just if you
science?
use science, it's a -1.
Well, I've got rank 2 in all of those. All
Okay.
of those. So
Cool.
I'll just go with computers or post tech. Let's go computers. Let's see. That would be a 7 total.
Okay.
Does that succeed, or should I reroll?
I think you should reroll.
Okay. That's worse.
Well, a failure is still a failure.
Yep.
As you're approaching this meeting, Sam, I would like you to roll a perception wisdom check.
Alrighty. I do have. Here's my question, though,
Yes.
AP. Am I sensing a social situation? Could I use charisma perception?
No.
Okay. Then I will use wisdom. I have a +1 in perception, so it's a total
You
of
need
+1.
2 6s to pass this roll.
What? This game sucks. So you're saying if I didn't have a +1, this roll would be impossible?
Correct.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter.
I
have
am
a
going
4.
to inform you of the same thing Rad used to get through this situation, which is that I don't believe you've used your APGamingREAL cast member once a year holiday reroll, no questions asked.
But it doesn't. I'm not gonna hit boxcars. It's just like nah.
Eric just hit boxcars, so that's EricVulgaris we're talking about. So
Yeah, but he did. But it's not. It's not only 6. I just feel like it's a massive waste of our one use for all 3 missions reroll to try to hit boxcars on a reroll.
this is no. This is your cast member reroll
Oh,
for the new
okay.
year. That was
For
my
the
New
new
Year's
year.
gift. It's in the announcement section on Discord.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh.
sure. Why not? I'll use that.
Sure.
This would be miraculous if this did land.
It didn't.
No, it's a total of 6.
Okay.
Total of 7, I guess. But so yeah, I got ambushed.
The episode is going to end a little early here as we get a sort of sweeping set of camera angles. We have Athena hacking, right? And then and then it's like quiet. All her beeps and bloops are down. She's got the network out. She's waiting to support Celeste. And then all of a sudden, it's like Ghost in the Shell, just like red everywhere. Like alarms, skull icons. Like your position in the city, you can hear that there's a helicopter over top of your position right now. And it's pretty clear that like the police are searching for you within moments of discovering your lockout. We see.
Well, that's great. I pull out my javelin.
No. That was Athena. That was Athena. Hold on. That was Athena. That's what's happening to Athena. Angus, you are riding a motorcycle with a leather jacket and sunglasses. You're looking really cool. You're like, oh, God, you're monologuing to yourself in your head. And this is what you're saying. I have to meet up with my sisters. They need to know that the police are watching the Yakuza. And then we cut over to Celeste approaching this meeting with Sung Cho, who is like getting out of a SUV. He's like turning to like go shake your hand when the car he got out of explodes and Draconis Combine candy stripers begin descending on the plaza from every direction, pointing guns at you, going, "Get down on the ground! Terrorist! It was a terrorist! They killed Sung Cho!" And the last thing you see before being knocked unconscious is multiple waves
Hold on. No, wait. The only thing that my character has in this game is the ability to absorb damage.
Okay, but you're being hit by multiple sonic stun waves, is what I'm saying.
All right, I'm just saying, like this fucking warrior ability is literally never useful.
All right,
and the only time.
I'll tell you what. You tell me how you get out of this situation where the police are coming at you from every direction, and I'll let you do 2 different things on the assumption that your warrior ability allows you to Expendables shrug off a lethal mortal wound in the process.
That's all I'm asking is just
Excellent.
one roll on account of the fact that I can shrug off something that no one should be able to.
I think it's rapidly becoming clear in the half second you have to act that you've been set up, that there is some other higher plot about Sung Cho going on where he's just been murdered and the police were involved.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say is I have a +2 in tactics.
Okay.
I would like there to be some kind of fuck up that they made in this ambush that I can exploit.
Let's make the roll.
All right. I'm guessing int probably.
Yeah, I'll buy that. You're going to need an 8.
All right, I got a +2 total, so I need a 6 on the dice. I really should have saved my special reroll for this moment, but
That's
I
okay.
don't need it.
You're good. Yeah. So here's what happens. The police are descending from all directions around you. You can see that they're like fast roping and repelling. They don't have time to get the sonic stunners on you. When you're like, oh, there's a hole in the network. Like you're looking around like, oh God, they're going to get me. This is going to be so bad. And then you're like, that alleyway, there's no one in it. And you can see that like there's an officer there using his incredibly heavy armor, but he like tripped. Someone left like a peed on mattress and he like tripped over it. And now he's rolling around on the ground. He's having trouble getting back up because, you know, he's got like 80 pounds of equipment on his back as he's like set up to fight. And yeah, you athlete leap over him and begin fleeing deeper into the administrative district of the city, away from the burning wreckage of Sung Cho's SUV.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we are going to end the episode here. Everybody gets 2,000 points of experience.
Oh man, I might be getting close to
And the
a
Blades
level.
of Honor crew are now going to do their best to hunt you down.
Okay, so I have a question because this was absolutely my first thought when the Candy Striper was tailing Angus.
Yeah.
Was that something they set up? Was that like a roll they had hit? Yeah, okay. I knew. That's why I was like, we should I didn't want to like metagame it too much.
I even asked if you wanted to meet beforehand.
Yeah, I didn't put that together.
No. I mean, I think it was fine. It was just like my first thought when I was like, we discovered the tail. I was like, oh, that's definitely one of their actions. Yeah. But it's fine. I still escaped. So you
Brad
know what?
rolled a 13 to set up this.
That's what I figured.
To falsely set up Sung Cho and to have a bomb go off while you were approaching him. So.
Well, thank God. Thank God I have an invincibility ability to.
You didn't even need it. You just got out with tactics.
Fair enough.
True.
But you
talked me down from shooting you multiple times with sonic stunners and just railroad rocks falling you into a police interrogation.
That's exactly right.
Now it's going to be Grimdark James, Neo Buzzard, and Ratosaurus hunting you three through the city.
Fun. Okay.
Things could be worse.
How?
What do you mean how? I could have gotten shot and stunned by all those police.
Okay.
then I would be captured.
There's
There'd
a
be no
non-zero chance that you may be shot and stunned based on a very quick roll from the other group.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but let me ask you this, Arthur. What is better, to be captured or to be on the run?
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
I mean, I agree with you, Sam. I think it's better to be on the run than to be captured.
I would say so.
Yeah. I mean, absolute bonkers that everything was a setup once again. I feel like they're just getting all these boxcar rolls on like the perfect setup.
Have you seen Rad roll dice before?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I have. Yeah.
Rad is an incredible dice roller.
Oh, man. But, I mean, we got some information. We didn't get anything that we were aiming to get because of their rolls. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I knew for a fact that like one of the two between Rad or both between Rad's mom and the Suncho guy were gonna be a setup. So
Sure.
You know, it was.
We at least have like the Yakuza like connection to some extent. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful.
Well, also presumably the Akari Genji's mother is not a big fan of Akari right now, considering she got pushed out of the leadership.
Yeah.
So that could be an
Exactly.
in. That could be an in still.
But
Partial success, AP.
I gave you 2,000 experience points.
Fair.
it's true.
That's fair.
Nice.
And now I'm on the run.
Actually, I need to double check.
It's so funny because for once, Angus is the one who isn't in trouble with the
Causing the
police.
problem.
Yeah. You two
How
are
the
in deep
turntables.
shit. And Angus is actually in with the Yakuza, so he's like partially in with the cops.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
We did it. We finally got here. Rad's going to be
That's-
so happy because
yeah.
he's been waiting 2 months to fuck EricVulgaris over.
Nice.
As soon as he found out that Eric was getting in with the Yakuza, he's like, oh, yeah, I gotta fucking...
Oh damn! I'm only 3,000 XP away from another level up.
I am way further than that. The next jump is 25k for me, that's bonkers.
Well, you're already level 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Well, hopefully, I mean, look, you know what, AP? I had been thinking before this game that Celeste had never, ever actually gotten to use any of these combat skills that I have, so maybe I will now.
Help your sister, please. I am not a combatant.
Good stuff.
But that was fun. Crazy, but still fun. Good ideas, y'all.
Any closing thoughts before I wrap this one up?
Short and sweet. That was the setup. Like, just it feels like every path we go, there's always some kind of setup that we can't
But
seem
that's
to
exactly
circumvent.
how this situation works, because we can't have you rolling directly against each other.
It's true.
Also, like, that is like, look, we always knew this was going to happen.
That's true.
They watch our show and we don't watch theirs. Like, that's, as it turns out, having more information is helpful.
It is true. Oh, goddamn.
I have you on camera giving them explicit permission to watch these episodes.
I want to be clear. I was saying
I
that.
understand. We actually had this conversation last episode.
Yeah,
as well.
like, I just don't want to be unrealistic about the facts. It's like, yeah, like, if we wanted to be ahead of them, we should just fucking do our homework.
That's true. It is true.
Oh, anyway.
I expect that their next episode will either wind up with some or all of you captured, or you will all escape. At which point we will transition into the third arc, the final arc, which is the both sides work together against a common enemy.
Cool.
The
Do
next
you
time we
want
meet,
to-
that's going to be what's happening.
Yeah, so, oh, wait. Next, there's not another response from us on
Correct.
this mission.
Either they fail to catch you, or they catch some or all of you, in which case we'll probably transition to, there's a greater threat on planet. We have to let them go to help us fight it. Otherwise, the Davian forces won't join us. You know, that sort of deal.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you want any of us to make rolls to make it, to see how difficult it will be to capture us? Or do
I
you want
am
to just leave
going
that?
to think about how I want to run this and get
Okay.
back to you. And I will ask each of you for several rolls, probably, that
Okay.
will act defensively to prevent you from getting captured.
Very cool.
Very cool.
All right, interesting. I like it.
Nice.
I don't know how I want to do it yet.
We're doing it off screen so they can't just be like, oh, we got to counter this and this and this.
It should be fun. Should be good.
Yeah.
All right, audience at home, that's all you get out of us.